this is Lady Shell. I'm here to do a tutorial on how to make a character in Fantasy Grounds. Now I'm going to be going down the alphabet and I have my barbarian already figured out. So I'm going to be making a bard this session. Now I need to do my abilities, my standard array. I'm going to type this in here. These are the numbers that you would be putting into your abilities when you are rolling your character. You can use them in any order, but since I'm making a bard and a bard's most important attribute is the charisma, I'm going to put my 15 in the charisma. And the second most important is the dex. So I'm going to put my 14 in dex. I'm going to put my 13 in con. I like hit points when I level. I'm going to put 12 in strength. I'm going to put 10 in wisdom, and I'm going to put 8 in intelligence. Okay, so we have our abilities done. The next thing that we will move on to is the background. I'm going to open the background tab, and I'm going to drag over the entertainer because that is what I have chosen for my background. You can see that it gave me some proficiency in these two skills, acrobatics and performance, and it also gave me proficiency in the disguise kit and one type of musical instrument. Plus I get the by popular demand feature. Now I need to make a name for my Bardalicious. Let's give her a picture. And the next thing after background comes race. So I open the race tab and I have decided that I am going to make myself a half elf. So I'm going to drag over the half elf to the race. Close the race down. It's asking me to pick two skills from the list below in which you'll be proficient. Now, as you remember, when I picked my entertainer background, it gave me proficiency in acrobatics and performance. So I do not want to duplicate them. Instead, I want to take two different ones, such as perception, because you do a lot of perception rolls when you're playing. And, you know, I have good dex. I'm going to go with stealth. So I'm going to check the box. And now it wants me to choose two abilities from the list below to increase. Now that's one of these abilities here. Now, your proficiency bonus goes up when you change it to an even number. Because of this, I'm going to pick con as one of my choices. It's going to go from 13 to 14, which would make my proficiency from +1 to +2. Now, there are no other ones that I can choose that are odd. Yes, the charisma is odd, but it's not on this list. But dexterity is very important to my character, so I'm going to pick dexterity as my second choice, and it will automatically increase them. Third thing, classes. We've already discussed we're going to make a bard, so we're going to drag over the bard. We're going to delete this, or close it rather. And then now it wants me to pick 3 more skills to be proficient in. I'm going to choose athletics. I'm going to choose insight and sleight of hand. Okay, so let's check those. And now we have all 4 of our items listed in creating our character. But I want to increase my bard from level 1 to level 3. So I'm going to click on the hourglass, drag that over here. And you never want to just type in the number 3 here. You're going to always want to do it this way. And this way is to take the shield, drag it off the tab and back on. Drag it off the tab and back on. Now I'm level 3. I can close this down. And it wants me to select a specialization. I'm going to pick the College of Lore and check the check mark. And we are complete with our first page of our character sheet. We've already gone over our skills. We're going to move on to our abilities. These are things that I'm going to be using when I set up my actions tab. And one would be Bardic Inspiration, which is a feature I'm going to get. It says that I get 3 skills of my choice, which I already made. You've seen me make them just a few minutes ago, or a few seconds ago, actually. Popular demand is just you always have a place to play when you come into town. That's a role-playing thing. College of Lore just talks about that I chose this as my college, and it tells you the things that you get from that, one of which is the cutting words. You also have expertise. Now, expertise says that you can choose 2 of your skill proficiencies, and you're going to get them doubled. So we're going to go back to our skills tab. We're going to choose 2 of these that we already are proficient in, and we're going to click on them once, and it will make it a double proficiency. I'm going to take performance because I'm a bard. I mean, why not, right? And perception because, as I mentioned before, you get a lot of perception checks while you're in the game. So I've done this. I can close that. I'm going to go back to my abilities, continue down the list. The next thing is Jack of all trades. Oh, wait, one more thing. No, that's okay. That's part of this. Part of Jack of all trades, it says that you can add half your proficiency bonus, rounded down, to any ability check that you make that doesn't already include that bonus. That means the things that you're not proficient in. Now, where's proficiency bonus? Right here, +2. And it says that you round it down. So I will be able to add +1 to all my checks. Initiative is one of those checks. So to add to my initiative, I'm going to open the hourglass. And inside here, you can see where you could edit your initiative, your speed, or your armor. I'm going to edit my initiative to include a +1 and close it. Now I have a +3 to initiative. So the other things was it said that anything that you weren't proficient in, you could make it half proficiency. So that means any of these non-starred ones, I can make them half proficient. And that means I click it 3 times. See, now it says it's half proficient. So at each one of these, I'm going to click 3 times, just the ones that are not starred. There. Now all my things are starred. Going back to my abilities, it says I get Song of Rest. That's another skill that I get. And it talks about spell casting. So we'll move that over there. Fey Ancestry is a racial trait. I will be adding that to my action tab. And skill versatility just was the same thing as what it told you up here, that you got the 2 skills, which we've already picked. And down here it says that I'm getting a disguise kit and a type of musical instrument. Plus it says that I get 3 musical instruments. So because I'm proficient in these, I'm going to have to add them to my skills tab. So I open the skills tab back up again. Click down here to edit list, scroll up to the plus, and I'm going to add 3 lines here. No, 4 lines here because I've got 3 instruments plus I have the disguise kit. So let's type disguise kit on this line. All these things are going to be related to charisma. But before I go off of this line, I'm going to check the star. so that it says that I'm proficient. And as you can see, it did its little alphabetizing thing. That's why I had to worry about it. Otherwise, I'd be clicking on the wrong line. And I want to put charisma in this box over here. And then I want to put the 3 instruments that I'm going to be proficient in, which would be lute, proficient, lyre, proficient, and drum. And all things I'm going to put there, they're going to be tied to charisma. Okay, everything's done. I've got all my skills. I am ready to stop editing this page. And I believe we are done with oh no, we have one more thing. We need to choose another language that we can speak. We can speak Common and Elvish. We are half elf, so those are the 2 languages we could speak. I'm going to say we could speak Dwarvish. Now, why Dwarvish and not Dwarf? If you click on this, it tells you the names of all the languages that are in the game and the way that they are correctly spelled. And you can see it is Dwarvish and Elvish. And another place that you could look that up if you didn't look there would be up here in the options menu. Click on the languages, and here are your languages that are included in the game. Just so you can make sure that you type them correctly, because if you don't, they will not let you use them in the game to talk to other people in the game. Like if I was playing in this game with another character and I was speaking Celestial, which I can't speak, but if you pretend that I can speak it, and I said, hello, anyone that spoke Celestial would get the translation. Anyone that did not would it wouldn't translate correctly for the people that could speak it. So I'm going to turn this back to no language. So that's how languages work. Just a little extra there. Okay, so we've got our weapons and tools, and we're proficient. Time to add the inventory. Now, your items here, I noticed before when I was doing this that it didn't give me any rations, and I think that everybody should have rations. So I'm going to manually add rations to my character. I'm going to give her 10 rations because other people get 10 rations, but for some reason it didn't give her 10 rations with whichever pack that she picked. Another manual one that I'm going to have to do are the 3 instruments. So I'm going to say lute, lyre, and drum. I also am going to want to make healing potions. And I'm going to give myself 2. And you will see why later, because I'm going to show you how to add functionality to a healing potion. Now, that's the individual items. The items that I get as part of my entertainer background are the musical instrument, the favor of admirer, costume, belt pouch, blah, 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 blah. And you would get more from your class also. Now, if I was to do this normally, I would have to take and open the items, I would have to type it out, and I would have to drag just like I dragged all these things. But we are going to be using Rob Tui's module for background and class equipment bundles, and this makes it super simple to get it. And I recommend that you go to the DM's Guild, the Dungeon Masters Guild, and look up his modules, because he has a lot of really helpful things to help you with character creation and with just playing in general. Now I'm going to go to this list. You can see I have it grouped to the specific group of the bundle that I picked. I have the entertainer, so I'm going to grab the shield and drag it. And I have the bard, so I go down here to class and grab the bard and move that up there. And now I have all of my items, and you know what? It did give me a loot. I didn't know it was going to give me a loot, so I guess I didn't need to add that individually. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to put your things in to a backpack. I'm going to go back to items. I'm going to type backpack because for some reason the pack that I got in my inventory did not include a backpack. So I'm going to include a backpack so that I have something to keep my things in. Now when you get your backpack, it's empty. I'm going to click on the end of the words and I'm going to delete where it says empty all the way back to the K in backpack, no spaces. Everything I want in the backpack, I'm going to add in the location a capital B because it's going to autofill. And anything that I want to put in the backpack, I'm going to put this location. So let's go down the list. Now you notice I'm not going to put my dagger in there. And you also notice these little icons over here. This little sack means it's carried, and the little shirt means it's equipped. So all of your armor and weapons will all be, you have to make sure that they're all equipped. Okay, so backpack, backpack, backpack. Oops. Okay, there's all of my items. And you will notice if you click back here, you will notice they're all nicely indented and they all have a location of backpack. And all your weapons plus your lamp plus your little pouch, they're either carried or they're equipped. So they're not in the backpack. And down here you see I have 15 gold, which came from my background. And we are done with our inventory. The next page is the notes page. This is what I call my role play page because this is the information that will make your character. You're telling your character what kind of traits it has, the ideals, bonds, and flaws. And you can write in your appearance, and you can also put notes in the bottom where it says notes. You can put your backstory. How did you become a bard? How did you get your first instrument? That type of thing. But for now, I'm going to roll for my personality traits. You could roll if you wanted to. You could take any of these and drag them over, like left click and drag. But I'm going to just manually have it give me a roll and tell me what my character is about. So I'm going to take the text and drag it up to personality traits. I'm going to open the next tab, the next table, and roll. Next table, roll. And the final table, the flaw. Okay, so our tab is finished. If you were making this yourself, you would add your gender, your age, your height, your weight, your alignment, and your deity. And if you wanted to add your appearance and your backstory. The next tab is logs. The logs we're not going to be using because this has to do with playing in Adventure League. And you would have a DCI number and a faction. You would type in your adventures down here, what happened. The final tab is the action tab. This is where you go for when you're in combat. And you can see that I have 2 daggers, but you know that I only really have 1. But it's saying that I can use 1 as a melee weapon, or I can use the same dagger as a thrown dagger. The ammo I need to change to 1. And that means if I throw it, I'm going to check it off, and then I will have to go and retrieve it after combat, and hopefully I find it again. The rapier is melee weapon also, and the third option would be ranged weapons like a crossbow or a long bow, short bow. I'm going to put it back to melee, and you'll see down here I have this section has an area just ready for spells. We are going to start with some, we call them powers. The powers are just the little header sections for where you will put your information. I'm going to click on edit. I'm going to click on this little star, and it gives me a new section where I can name this power, and I'm going to name it Consumables. And in Consumables, the reason that I want Consumables is so that I can track how many rations I have in my inventory, how many torches. Well, I don't have torches, but if I had torches, I would put them in there, like your water skin. And I'm going to give myself one more. Consumables. I'm going to have healing potions. I'm going to have rations. Whoops, not over there. Rations. And I'm going to have, well, I would have torches. I'm going to, just in case I get torches, I'm going to put torches in here. We don't have any in our inventory at this time, but we might pick some up somewhere along our travel skin, travel skin, water skin, travels. Okay. Now, I told you I wanted to give this functionality. Hopefully this is going to work. You know what? I'm going to switch and put healing potions here and put water skin down here, because for some reason when I did this last time, it put what I wanted in the wrong spot. Okay, so to give healing potions a functionality, I'm going to right click on where it says healing potions. I'm going to click on add action, and then I'm going to click on heal. Now you see it added a second line to the healing potions, but it's blank because we have to tell it how much a healing potion is. And I know that a healing potion is 2d4 plus 2. I need to erase these so I can see what I'm doing. And you will take your d4, left click, then I'm going to right click it to get 2 d4s, and I'm going to drag it over to this tab. And you can see that it gave it an dice value of 2d4, but we wanted to say 2d4 plus 2. So in the bonus box, I will write 2. Now we're all set, and we have a healing potion that will do 2d4 plus 2 when we go to use it. And I'm going to click so that it only takes up 1 space per person. But we also need to tell how many we have of each thing in our inventory. So you saw me click the mode to preparation. And now in healing potions, we have a place where we can tell how many of each thing that we have. We are going to change the daily to once on each of these items because you only use them once. We have 2 healing potions. We have 10 rations. We don't have any torches, so I'm going to leave it 0. We have 1 water skin. Okay, so we're all set there. All I have to do is click the mode back to combat, click the group to actions, and you will see that I am set with 2 potions, 10 rations, and a water skin. And the torches don't have any torches, so we don't have any of the little dots to fill in. Because when you would eat a ration, you would check it off. And it does not deduct it from your inventory. It's just a way of tracking it on your sheet here. Another thing that we're going to want to make a section for is our standard actions. And I forgot I already made one. Okay, so I'm going to type standard actions. And down here, I'm going to type my racial features. I'm going to, okay, so I have racial features, I have standard actions, and I need one more. I need my class features. Class features. Okay, now let's click that off. And back up here, you see this is a class feature, this was a class feature, and this was a class feature. See, they all say feature. But to get the coding, I'm going to use another one of Rob Tui's modules. I am going to use his, for this particular one, class features, coding for class features. So when I click on spells, actually I'm using the spells. I have them all loaded. I have the effects coding for class features. I have the coding for race features and for spells. So I'm going to click on spells for now because we're going to add the spells to, or no, sorry, class features. We're going to do the class features first. And yes, I am a half elf, but I am making a bard. The bard is the class, so we have to put the name of the class. Okay, so I click on bard, and I have my items that are attributable to the class. This is where I'm going to drag it. I get bardic inspiration. I get cutting words. I get Song of Rest. And we already did the Jack of all trades when we went into the skills tab, and we already added the half value for each of those, so I'm not going to use that again. But this blank one that I have up here, I'm going to edit, and I'm going to double click this to delete it so that it's back to just the 3 that are in there. Okay, so there's my 3 class features. Now on to add racial features. Let me close down the ones that I've used. And I want to change the group to race traits. I want to change from bard to half elf. And now I have Fey ancestry. So I'm going to drag that into my racial features, and we're all set. And again, I'm going to delete this extra one that's just a placeholder and click to get out of it. Okay, now we're ready to add our spells and our skills. I do have one more header to make. So I open the powers again. I'm going to make a, wait, did I make it? I already made it. Let me delete that. I don't need that. I made the standard actions, but I never dragged the standard actions in there. So what I want to do now is go back to where it's not linking to anything. And I want to go back to just all. I want to type standard actions. Oh, wait. I want to type actions. Oh, type actions. And I want to drag over dodge, help, hide, and ready. And again, delete the one that I don't need. Click on the hourglass so that I'm only taking up one line per feature, and that's done. Now we're ready to start with our spells. Now a bard gets a total of 6 spells, and it gets 2 cantrips. So I'm going to type pick bard for the source. For level, I'm going to click 0 because I want to get my cantrips. And I've already taken my bardic inspiration. I've already got the Song of Rest. I would like to take Mage Hand. And you will see that it added down here is cantrips. See, here's my new cantrips section. And I can get one more. I'm going to take Vicious Mockery. So now I have my 2 cantrips. Now I want to do my level 1 spells. I am going to pick 4 level 1 spells. I'm going to pick Charm Person. And you'll see that it added another spell list, spells of level 1. And I can pick 3 more. I'm going to pick Fairy Fire. I'm going to pick Healing Word because it's often nice to have more than one person that can heal your party. And I'm going to pick Sleep. So there's my 4 first level spells that I will be able to use. Okay, now I get 2 second level spells. So I'm going to change the level to 2. And I'm going to go back to the top. I'm going to drag it in over where it says spell slots here, and that's going to make its own little thing. I'm going to do Crown of Madness. And I'm going to do Invisibility. Okay, so those should have gone in the second level spells, and they did. There's Crown Madness, and there is Invisibility. Okay, so we have our skills, our spells, our consumables, our racial traits, and our standard actions. I believe we are complete. So I am going to end this tutorial, and thank you for watching, and I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial and that you will continue to watch for other tutorials that I make in the class features. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.